Hey, it's Rion with Vision, or as some of us like to call it. Let's talk about the divertive escape experience versus an internal awakening experience. So you may have heard me say already that a lot of what we know and experience as entertainment is that divertive experience. The value is about a quick release, a therapeutic kind of diversion, which could also be entertainment in its deeper form. Dysfunctionally can really become like an unhealthy coping mechanism for people to continue escaping themselves. When you look at that for decades and decades, that this has actually been most of the programming out there, is just this divertive dynamic that's taking people away from facing their power, from facing their greater, deeper truth, or the shame or anything they're going through, to just escape it, to numb themselves for a while. It starts getting real serious because there's all kinds of different healing going on in the world, yet we already know the power of how entertainment media can make us feel. So when we can change our relationship and how we value media, how we value ourselves, to value facing ourselves and our power and taking on where we are the valuation, opening up to our greater human experience, more freedom, then we can use media differently. Then we can repurpose it to, instead of divert, cope, and escape ourselves in a trigger response kind of way to get away from ourselves, we can actually use media to awaken ourselves, to accept ourselves, to attune ourselves to a deeper, richer experience that's more connected, more loving, more accepted to the greater truth of who we really are. So it's just interesting to not just be aware of this, but to really experience it. So where are things headed? You've seen other videos on this channel. We're talking about these dynamics. Divertive escape, to cope and numb and get away from ourselves, which is still avoiding our deeper truth or our issues even, or an internal awakening valuation where we become number one, and our greater nature and possibility becomes number one. Then we can repurpose media to awaken ourselves internally, and that's an entirely different experience. I've been doing it for years, and it is ridiculously awesome. So, diversion versus awakening. Check out the other videos. Transformational entertainment being that infusion where we come to an acceptance as media producers, creatives, and performers ourselves to influence transformation and awakening of consciousness in the world, instead of just continuing the cycle of diversion and numbing and coping mechanisms. Rion with Vision.